Now, today we are going to study English grammar. And today let's begin with our new chapter, which is chapter number 4, opposites. What is the chapter? Chapter number 4. And what is the name of the chapter? Opposites. The spelling of opposites is OPPOSITES. Repeat it with me. OPPOSITES. This is our chapter number 4, opposites. So, what is an opposite? Now, let's begin with our definition first. So, the definition of opposites is: opposites are word pairs that are related but totally different in meaning. So, these are those words which are related to each other. That means if I say good and the opposite of good is bad, they are related in somewhere. But their meanings are totally different. They are totally different in their meanings. That means they are not same words. They are properly different words, but they are relevant to each other. They are word pair that is related. That means they have the opposite meanings of each other. That is opposites. Okay, I'm going to show you some examples. BIG, big, and the opposite of big is small, and the spelling of small is SMALL, small. Next is fast, 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 and the opposite of fast is slow, SLOW, slow. Next is hot, 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 and the opposite of hot is cold, COLD, cold. Next is boy, 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 and the opposite of boy is girl, GIRL, girl. So these are the opposites. Okay, hope you are understand now what is opposites. Now see here, these words can be common nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, prepositions. It can be common nouns. Okay, so I'm going to show you what are the examples of common nouns here. See here, opposite common nouns. What are the opposite common nouns? Like MAN, man. Man comes under the common noun. It is a common noun. I told you now what are the common nouns? Those nouns which are common for anyone. It does not gives a proper description of anyone. It is common for anyone. So MAN, man, is a common noun. So the opposite of man is women, WOMAN. The opposite of man is women, and man is a common noun, and women is also a common noun. Similarly, bad, bad, and the opposite of bad is good, good. Bad and good are both common nouns. Next is begin, begin, and the opposite of begin is and. Next is black, and the opposite of black is white. These are the common nouns, and these are the opposites of common nouns. Like bad is a common noun, so good is the opposite of common noun bad. And begin is a common noun, and end is the opposite of common noun begin. Similarly, black is a common noun, and white is the opposite of common noun black. Now we will see the example of opposite pronouns. So the example of opposite pronouns are I, and the opposite of I is you, you. Similarly, the opposite of pronoun he is she. These are the opposite pronouns. Okay. Now see opposite adjectives. If I say about the opposite adjectives, that means adjectives are those words which tells us the quality of noun. Okay, which tell us the quality of noun. Like tall, tall. That means if I say Rohan is a tall boy, so tall describes here the quality of Rohan, that he is tall. Now see the tall, tall. Tall is an adjective, and the opposite adjective of tall is short, short. Here the adjective is tall, and the opposite adjective of tall is short. Now see some more. thin, thin. Here is thin. Thin is an adjective, and the opposite adjective of thin is fat. Similarly, slow, slow, and the opposite of slow is fast, fast. What is the opposite of slow? Fast. And slow is also an adjective, and the opposite adjective of slow is fast. Similarly, dark, and the opposite of dark is light. So dark is an adjective, and the opposite adjective of dark is light. Now see opposite verbs. As we know, verbs are the doing words. Okay. So here the sit, sit is a verb. Similarly, the opposite of sit is stand, stand. Sit is a verb and the opposite verb of sit is stand, stand. See some more examples. Now see O P-E-N, open, and the opposite of open is C-L-O-S-E, close. So the word open is a verb and the opposite verb of open is close. Similarly, L-O-S-E, lose, and the opposite of lose is win, W-I-N, win. Now see L-A-U-G-H, laugh, and the opposite verb of laugh is C-R-Y, cry. These are the verbs like open, lose, laugh, and the opposite verbs of these words are close, win, cry. Now see some more example of opposites. I am going to show you. G-O-O-D, good, B-A-D, bad. Good is the opposite word and the opposite of good is bad. Similarly, next is H-E-A-V-Y, heavy, and the opposite of heavy is L-I-G-H-T, light. Next is expensive, E-X-P-E-N-S-I-V-E, expensive, and the opposite of expensive is C-H-E-A-P, cheap. Next is F-U-L-L, full, and the opposite of full is empty, E-M-P-T-Y, empty. Next is wet, W-E-T, wet, and the opposite of wet is dry, D-R-Y, dry. One more time, repeat this with me. G-O-O-D, good, and the opposite of good is B-A-D, bad. Next, H-E-A-V-Y, heavy, and the opposite of heavy is L-I-G-H-T, light. Next is E-X-P-E-N-S-I-V-E, expensive, and the opposite of expensive is cheap, C-H-E-A-P, cheap. Next is F-U-L-L, full, and the opposite of full is E-M-P-T-Y, empty. Next is W-E-T, wet, and the opposite of wet is D-R-Y, dry. Now see next one. First I'll tell you, then you repeat it with me. Okay, first is S-M-O-O-T-H, smooth. The opposite of smooth is R-O-U-G-H, rough. Now repeat it with me. S-M-O-O-T-H, smooth, and opposite is R-O-U-G-H, rough. Next is T-H-I-C-K, thick, and the opposite of thick is T-H-I-N, thin. Repeat. T-H-I-C-K, thick, and the opposite is T-H-I-N, thin. Similarly, O-L-D, old, and the opposite is Y-O-U-N-G, young. Repeat. O-L-D, old, opposite is Y-O-U-N-G, young. Next is R-I-G-H-T, right, opposite is L-E-F-T, left, right, left. Repeat. R-I-G-H-T, right, L-E-F-T, left. Next is S-T-R-O-N-G, strong, and opposite is W-E-A-K, weak. Now P-O-O-R, poor, and opposite is R-I-C-H, rich. Next is H-O-T, hot. Next is C-O-L-D, cold. Next is C-L-E-A-N, clean. And the opposite of clean is D-I-R-T-Y, dirty. Next one, Q-U-I-E-T, quiet. And the opposite of quiet is N-O-I-S-Y, noisy. That you make in the class, noise. Next is R-I-G-H-T, right. And the opposite is L-E-F-T, left. One more time, repeat. P-O-O-R, poor. Opposite is R-I-C-H, rich. Next is H-O-T, hot. Opposite is C-O-L-D, cold. Next one, C-L-E-A-N, clean. And the opposite is D-I-R-T-Y, dirty. Next one is Q-U-I-E-T, quiet. And the opposite is N-O-I-S-Y, noisy. Similarly, R-I-G-H-T, right. And the opposite is L-E-F-T, left. Next, B-R-A-V-E, brave. And the opposite is S-C-A-R-E-D, scared. Next one, C-O-M-P-L-E-X, complex. And the opposite of complex is S-I-M-P-L-E, simple. Next one, V-I-S-I-B-L-E, visible. And the opposite is I-N-V-I-S-I-B-L-E, invisible. Next is C-A-L-M, calm. And the opposite is E-X-C-I-T-E-D, excited. Next is U-G-L-Y, ugly. And the opposite is B-E-A-U-T-I-F-U-L, beautiful. Repeat once again. B-R-A-V-E, brave. And the opposite is S-C-A-R-E-D, scared. Next is C-O-M-P-L-E-X, complex. And S-I-M-P-L-E, simple. V-I-S-I-B-L-E, visible. And the opposite is I-N-V-I-S-I-B-L-E, invisible. Next is C-A-L-M, calm. And the opposite is E-X-C-I-T-E-D, excited. Similarly, U-G-L-Y, ugly. And the opposite is B-E-A-U-T-I-F-U-L, beautiful. Hope with these examples you are clear with the topic opposites. Now I am going to give you one activity which you have to perform in your rough notebook. Here is your activity. List some opposites and also show them through the pictures. Okay, I am going to show you one example of this activity. What you have to do is, see here. See, here is the sign of up. Similarly, the opposite sign of down is here. Next is C-L-O-S-E-D, closed. There is a box which shows that it is closed. Now, the opposite of closed is open, O-P-E-N, open. So, this box shows that this is the open box. Similarly, H-A-P-P-Y, happy, and this face shows you that this is a happy face. And next is the opposite of happy is S-A-D, sad, and this face shows you that this is a sad face. Similarly, C-O-L-D, cold, and this ice cube shows that it is a cold. And the opposite of cold is H-O-T, hot, and this teacup shows that this is a hot tea. So this shows that it is hot. Next is FAST, fast, and this movement of bus shows that it moves in a very fast speed. And similarly, SLOW is the opposite of fast, and we all know snail walks very slow. Next is BIG, big, and this tree shows that it is a big tree. And the opposite of big is SMALL, small, and this small little flower shows that it is a small flower. In this way, similarly, you have to make some pictures and write down the opposites of them. Okay. Hope with this you are clear with the topic opposites. Learn some new opposite words at your home and write it in your rough notebook, and also do the activity in your rough notebook. Okay? Study well at your home. Stay well. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.